Hey guys, my Seni, welcome back to Chit Chat with Chip, and in this video I am going to be talking you guys through how I am saving £1,000 a month. Some of you guys might already know that I started this challenge in August 2020 and it's going on until August 2021, so this year. So I've been doing that now for just under 6 months. It's creeping up to 6 months at the end of this month. If you've seen my previous video, I did an update of how it's going. I've also just recently did an update on my Instagram, so check that out. I'll put it just down here. But anyway, I'm going to get right into it. So what I'm going to try and do with these videos from now on is to try and keep them short and sweet, yes? What I'm going to do is start a 5-minute series of videos. So what I do is set a timer for 5 minutes and get out all the points that I want to get out in a video. And then when it comes to 5 minutes, that's it. But obviously some videos might go slightly over. If I've still got something to cover, I will put it in. Don't come crucify me. But some of them might also be under 5 minutes. We'll see, I do talk a lot, but also with editing, etc., there might be a little bit less than that, but I will try and keep them short and sweet for you guys. If you like the video at the end of this, make sure that you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure that you comment down below and tell me if you guys are saving, how you're saving, and what you're saving for. So I'm going to get right into the points of how I've been saving £1,000 a month and how I have achieved that. The first thing I would say is to make sure that you clear your high interest debt. It's very, very important that you clear your high interest debt because your interest will just build up. You end up paying interest back rather than actually paying the debt off. And also, if you don't have any debt, you won't be worrying about it when you are saving because it's not in the back of your mind. So my first point is to clear your debt, but especially your high interest debt. So I'm not going to lie, I do have a little bit of debt, but the little bit of debt I do have is very manageable. I'm very smart with my money, but also it has 0 interest. So I know that I can manage that just fine. I didn't start the timer. It started now. You have to be really realistic about what you can save based on your income and your outgoings. You really need to analyze this because there's no point setting yourself a goal that you're not able to achieve based on what you've got coming in. So just because I can save £1,000 a month doesn't necessarily mean that you have to. Start with something small. Start with setting yourself a challenge of, oh, I want to save £100 a month, or I want to save £200 a month. I want to save £500 by this specific time. Set yourself challenges that are easier to achieve than something that you can't really do realistically, because at the end of the day, you don't want it to stress you out. So set yourself realistic challenges. A great place to start is working out your emergency fund. So that can be anything from 3 to 6 months, but say you aim to save 3 months of emergency funds. Work out all your outgoings for 1 month and times that by 3, and that could be your starting point of how much you could aim to save, by when and by what time. Number 3, you need to have a reason why you're saving. So I like to call my reasons challenges, but essentially they are goals. What's getting you up every morning? It will make it so much easier for you to get up and get to work and do whatever you've got to do to save that money. If it's a challenge to see what you can do, then obviously you don't necessarily need a goal or a time scale. But if it's a goal, make sure that you do have written down why you're saving, how much you want to save, and by when. This will be your motivation to get up every single morning to get things done. You'll visualize having achieved said thing and it will give you all the feels of like happiness and a sense of achievement. Number 4, you need to reduce all your outgoings and your spending. Like, can you rent cheaper? Can you find someone to live with? Can you exchange your finance car for a cheaper car? Little things like that will help you save a little bit more than you would save if you just kept up with really expensive bills. A lot of people are sitting on savings. We recently got money back from our water company because we weren't using as much water as they thought we could. So the little things like that. Search around for where you can drop your bills and reduce your bills. I have 1 minute. Naturally for me, the pandemic has obviously helped, and multiple lockdowns have helped me reduce how much is going out. So I've been able to save a lot more. So that is partly a big reason as to why I've been able to save a little bit more over the last few months. Another thing that I do is I split my bills with my partner. So my rent is split in half, my bills are all split in half. But like I said, find ways that you can reduce how much you're paying. Live with a flatmate, move back with your parents, search for cheaper deals. Can you make do with taking public transport to work, or little things like that might help you save a little bit more than you think. 50 seconds. Work overtime where possible. Forget about the fear of missing out, because at the end of the day, you have your reason as to why you're doing it. That's why it's important to have your goal. You have a reason why you're saving. So that will always take you back to the reasons that you're saving. So just remember that. Forget FOMO. It's not a thing. It's a thing, but it's not a thing. When you've got a goal, when you've got what you're working towards, then you'll do what you've got to do in order to save what you have to save. I've already talked about switching and saving on energy costs, on transportation, using comparison sites. Check what you're paying and see if you can find a cheaper deal elsewhere. This is something that I do and I have done and I will continue to do. So that's another way that I've saved a little bit of money, because bills are not as bad. Obviously I split the bills, things are a little bit cheaper. I'm going to carry on for just 1 or 2 more minutes. I'm nearly done, actually 1 minute. Another thing that I have done in order to save £1,000 every single month is to make sure that as soon as my bills go out at the start of the month, my savings are the next thing that goes out. I do not mess about with that. I literally put my money straight away into a savings account, and it's separate to my everyday account. Separate savings account straight away. And the reason for this is that you put it away, you lock it away. For me, I don't want to see it. I just want to know that as long as I've put the money that I've said I'm going to put in there, that's it, that's done. I live off what I have left in my normal account, and that is always something that I've done for literally like the last year. I literally live like all I have is what's in my current account at that point after everything has gone out. So a lot of people talk about paying yourself first. So yeah, that's what you got to do. Automate your payments if you have to. That's not something that I can really do because I get paid at different times in the month, so it doesn't always fall on a set date. So for me, I have to physically move the money, but automate your payments if you can. Remember, I told you. Another thing is I personally don't put anything on credit cards. I don't put anything on credit cards because, especially if you're someone who doesn't really have the best money management skills, or your money management isn't up to scratch, then I wouldn't even think about getting a credit card, a spending credit card, a high interest credit card. It's not worth it. Like, try and maybe work on being better with money, being better with saving, starting small, and then maybe building up your credit score if you have to. And then you can think about getting a credit card for manageable spending, not just putting everything on your credit card and forgetting about it, because the money on a credit card is not for you. It does not belong to you. You will have to pay it back. And when you start paying it back with high interest, it's not fun. Another thing, and my last point before it even clocks 10 minutes on my timer, is increase your income. Can you do a side hustle? Can you do a second job? Are you creative enough to come up with something that you can sell? I will do a video on side hustles because I've got a few ideas, but I don't want to talk about that in this video. But just find ways to increase your income. And that is something that I have done in the last sort of 6 to 7 months. Not a major increase, but a little bit more in order to save that little bit more as well, but also still keeping my spending low, my outgoings low, and my income slightly higher. That is how I've been able to save £1,000 a month. And I always remember why I'm doing it. Even in the morning when it's tough to get up for work and you want to just stay in bed, I'm like, okay, so I am saving this for this specific reason. I can just visualize myself having it, and yeah, you get up, you do it. So that is how I save, guys. If you've got any more ideas on how you think I can do a little bit better, or tell me how you guys save, tell me what your goals are, drop them down in the comments below. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what everyone's up to. I've tried to keep this nice and short. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching.